call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mary Beth?
Okay. Councilwoman Chapman? Here. Councilman Cookingham? Here. Councilman Deegan?
Here.
Councilman Reifenberg?
Here.
Supervisor Albrecht?
Here.
Town Attorney Emily Swenson? Here. All present.
Just before we adopt the agenda, I'd just like to make a motion to add one item to 15B under items of special consideration titled approving a change order for the general contractor for new town hall resolution. Yeah, that's what I want for the motion. I'll explain the next part. An explanation just for the residents before we get to the public comment portion. There's a resolution and documents in the back of the room. If you'd like to grab or interested in looking them over and speaking in the first portion, it's just a change order that we've talked about at numerous meetings for the second floor for just under $7,000. But the information is in the back to give you ample time to be able to speak in a little bit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
And I make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? There are no public hearings tonight. I'd like a motion for the receipt and acceptance of minutes, the workshop meeting, special town board meeting, two of them from 11/5, 11/17, regular town board meeting, public hearing 11/17, and special town board meeting 11/19.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? All official correspondence is on file in the town clerk's office. I have to tell you, it's really nice to see some really nice, warm faces out there tonight. Very nice. Tonight, we have a presentation that Mary Beth is going to do for our Citizen Make a Difference Award.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. I would like to welcome Frank Costella and his wife Karen, his children, and his family and friends. The amount of people here tonight shows the love and respect that everyone has for the Costella family. So my name is Mary Beth Muir. I'm the town clerk. In August, I had the pleasure and honor of sitting down with Frank for what became a remarkable 2.5-hour conversation. From the moment, this is it. This is 2.5 hours. I had to bring him back on track sometimes, but it was good. It was good. From the moment we began, I was captivated by Frank. He didn't just tell me a story, he painted a vivid portrait of the life he shaped, of his struggles, his perseverance, and his boundless love for his family and his country. So let's start from the beginning. Frank made his grand entrance into the world on January 17, 1944, right in the middle of a Brooklyn snowstorm. According to him, the snow was falling sideways, but Frank wasn't about to wait. Frank's heart always belonged to his family and the legacy they built. He spoke with pride about his roots, tracing his family's journey back when his ancestors arrived in America with a little more than the clothes on their backs and a dream in their hearts. With hard work, faith, and good sense of humor, along with the Webster's Dictionary, they learned to speak English, and they carved out a life they could be proud of. Their story was one of grit and hope, of poor immigrants who faced every hardship imaginable, but never lost faith in the promise of a better tomorrow and believing in the American dream. His family strongly believed that while they were in America, They were determined to learn how to pronounce words and speak only English. Even though Frank did not speak Italian, he admits, "I did learn all the important ones, mostly the swear words." Frank told me, and I quote, "My parents gave me love for this country and the drive to work hard, values he proudly passed down to his children." Frank's father, Salvatore Costella, always held 2 jobs. When he wasn't a barber, he became a compositor in the newspaper. He did the headline type, as this was set by hand on a composing stick, upside down and backwards. His father had a Threadle printing press in the cellar and did small jobs for people like printing business cards, calling cards, and flyers. Frank got to use this press as a kid and became very good at it. It was small-time work, but steady enough, and it was good in the seasons. When business had its slow spells, his father would take the family into the White Mountains of New Hampshire. The family did not have much in those days, hardly enough food. A local farmer and his wife took a liking to the family and offered their help. His dad worked for the Sugar Hill Hotel, and his mom, Josephine, worked for the farmer, tending his garden, and part of the deal, the farmer would provide the family with chickens, eggs, and vegetables. At this hotel, Frank met the actress Betty Davis and was fascinated by her horses and ponies that she had boarded there. He would hang around the fence and watch the trainer give her lessons in dressage riding. Miss Davis approached Frank's mom one afternoon and asked if Frank could go for a horse ride with them sometime. This was something the family could not afford, but Miss Davis assured her Frank would get the lessons from her trainer and not to worry about the cost. He had lessons and rode trails through the beautiful mountains, and at this point, we could say the rest was history. In August 19th, 1955, while the family was living in Pines Bridge, Connecticut, there was a terrible flood. They survived thanks to the family dog that barked and woke up Frank's father, who saw that the house was surrounded by water. They all got up, climbed up the embankment, and watched their house and dog float down the Naugatuck River. Everything they owned was gone, including the printing press Frank's father had purchased in town. School wasn't easy for Frank. He had dyslexia at the time when no one really talked about it. While words challenged him, sometimes getting tangled on the page, pictures made perfect sense. And even though it was a struggle, he got through school. Frank developed an interest in photography at a young age. He learned how to use a darkroom from a friend's father who owned a machine shop and was an amateur photographer. In the 1960s, Frank headed into Manhattan to study photography and graphic design at the New York Institute. After graduating in top 10% of his class, there was young Frank with a camera slung around his neck, convinced he'd capture it all. When most people were winding down after work, Frank was just getting started. He took a night job with Aer Lingus, the national airline of Ireland, as a photographer. It was his job to tag along with other public relations team to welcome all the, I quote, important folks flying from Ireland, politicians, dignitaries, and maybe even an occasional celebrity. Frank would snap pictures of them all over Manhattan. Later on, Frank received a letter to take an interview for a government office that was located in New Haven, Connecticut. He was hired as a freelance subcontractor for the CIA. He did his training at the Hartford Police Academy, where he became an armorer, a person in charge of firearms. His photography background helped since he was taking pictures while doing surveillance. He relocated to East Haven Satellite Office, where he and his coworker, who was like a mentor to him, developed technology that went to IBM and to Philips. In the 1970s, he was asked to be a bus driver to take some BOCES students on a field trip. During this time, he was asked to come to work for BOCES to teach his knowledge of typesetting. This was where he met his wife, Karen. After dating for 6 months, Frank and Karen got married. A year later, they built a house on Travis Road, and together they raised 4 children. Frank started his own printing business out of this house, where he still has printing equipment to this day. While teaching, he met Wesley Harmon, who hired Frank to teach him and his two brothers how to run the printing press. He knew that Wesley wasn't grasping how to use the equipment, so he made a deal with Wesley's brothers, Vern and Nelson, that he would come and print their stuff for nothing in exchange for the use of the press for his bigger printing jobs. This continued until his brothers were in their 70s and wanted to retire. They asked Frank to buy their business. Excuse me. The business was named Harmon Printing, so he just added Costella to it. Frank owned Harmon and Costella for 38 years. Let's talk about the horses and the Warrior Wagon a little bit. If you've been in town long enough, you may remember Frank's horses delivering Santa Claus to West Road School for more than 40 years. More than 40 years ago. Through Frank's business, Castle Carriage, he brought these majestic horses into the public eye at weddings, parades, and civic events. Karen and Frank attended a 10-day Danbury Fair where they would work the horses at night. This was the first time that Frank had driven a stagecoach with 4 horses. Over the years, they have owned 30 horses. They would buy them, train them, and sell them. He ran the horse shows at the Dutchess County Fair for 37 years, resigning in 2015 to spend some time working on the Warrior Wagon. So let's talk a little bit about the Warrior Wagon and how the idea came about. So through Frank's interview and some research I gathered from the American Legion newspaper, I would like to share how Frank came up with the idea of the Warrior Wagon. And I read a small portion of the article, and I quote, "Though Frank never served in the military, he holds the honorable service of his father-in-law in great respect. Durward E. Curly Hutchings was a ball-turnet gunner on a B-17 Flying Fortress known as the Katy Boys during World War II, 100th Bomb Group, 351st Bomb Squadron. During a bombing raid on Berlin on March 8, 1944, the plane was crippled by enemy fighters, but continued on to bomb its intended target at Enkler, after which the crew bailed out and the plane had crashed. Durward was captured by German farmers and turned over to the German army. He was held prisoner for over a year before his release on April 30th, 1945, at which time he weighed less than 90 pounds. He later received the Air Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, the Purple Heart, the Good Conduct Medal, and the Presidential Medal with oak leaf clusters. He married Ruth Du Bois on July 15, 1945, and was discharged as a staff sergeant on October 26, 1945. The couple had 3 daughters, to which the first of which was Karen, Frank's wife. In honor of Durwood and all the veterans, Frank decided to build a wagon that would become accessible for wounded and physically handicapped veterans. Frank stated in the paper, "We," meaning my daughter Stacy and son-in-law Brian, "did a Memorial Day parade with my hitch wagon a while back," Frank recalls. "The parade organizers asked me to carry the local politicians on the wagon, and I said, bull, if we do the parade, it will be with veterans on board or no deal." Well, when we did the parade, the vets had the problem climbing the ladder to get on the hitch wagon. As a matter of fact, there had to be local rescue called to help the veterans out. This is when Frank started to begin to think about a purpose vehicle, and he decided to build a wagon that would be accessible for wounded and physically handicapped veterans. He envisioned a wagon that would have a bold appearance, but yet have an antique look. Specifically, he wanted to strive for the resemblance of a World War I troop carrier. The debuting of Frank's Warrior Wagon was scheduled for the World Percheron Congress held in Springfield, Massachusetts in October of 2014. There were still some finishing touches that needed to be completed, but the wagon was ready for action. During the ceremony, one of the volunteers at this event stated, "To be able to make the opening ceremonies not only a tribute to our breed, but also to our military, I am stumbling for words. I cried every night during these ceremonies, and I realized that the entire arena was on their feet and wiping tears as well. It was truly an honor to be involved." Since the debut in the fall of 2014, Frank and his crew have brought the Warrior Wagon to many states to participate in parades and veteran ceremonies. During the times at the Dutchess County Fair, as Frank and his crew would take the veterans a ride around the fairgrounds, they would stop part of the way through the ride as the national anthem would play and the introduction of each veteran who was on the wagon. Frank, it would be our honor and our privilege to recognize your father-in-law, Durward E. Curley Hutchings, with a Hometown Heroes banner to be displayed in the town of Pleasant Valley, wherever of your choice, given by the Hometown Heroes Committee in grateful tribute to his service and dedication to our nation. Okay, so on a quick note, let's talk about the movie star. On a quick note, here, Frank has done several commercials over the years. His latest adventure has been working as a carriage driver on the hit HBO series, The Gilded Age. He appears in season 2 and in the opening of season 3, driving a 4-horse hitch on a stagecoach. Hopefully the fans can look forward to seeing him again in season 4, hopefully be filming soon. So as our conversation ended, I realized that Frank had given me more than just an interview. I walked away that day inspired by Frank's words, laughter, and his enduring spirit of hope and determination. Frank's motto is, and I quote, "Nobody handed you nothing. I am a big believer. If you want something, you work for it. You can accomplish anything as long as you do your research." Thank you. I know. Hold on a second, I lost a page.
That's 2.5 hours worth.
I had to sum it up, hold on. I just lost my page. Oh, no. Did I drop it? Oh, come on, what did I do? Okay, this is embarrassing. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, so Frank, as you sit here today with your family and friends by your side, it is our honor to present you with the Pleasant Valley Citizens Making a Difference Award. So there I was, trying to figure out what on earth to write in this poem about Frank. I decided to ask a few of his close friends what is it they would think the first thing when Frank's name came to their mind, and what would they say if they had to describe Frank? Let's just say some things I heard absolutely cannot be repeated. At least not while the microphones are on. Anyway, on a serious note, one friend stated to me, "He is the man that stands in the shadows, who does for everyone else without wanting any recognition." And honestly, that was it. That was the moment I knew exactly what this poem had to be called. It's The Man in the Shadows. So Frank, you have always stood by me, supporting me, defending me. No crying in baseball. And quietly showing up for me in moments when it mattered the most, town board meetings, when you knew that what was being said wasn't the truth. You have always supported the town clerk's office with that same gentle loyalty that you give to everyone you care about. And when you honored our daughter Catherine on the Warrior Wagon, it touched my husband Larry and I more than we could ever put into words. You even let me ride on the front of the Warrior Wagon several Pleasant Valley Day parades, filling me with such pride, waving our flag and honoring our heroes, and feeling the spirit of our community all around. Let's just say that is kindness and honor I will never forget. This poem is our tribute, an expression of heart-filled gratitude from myself, the town board, from this proud community, and from every veteran whose life you have touched. It stands as our united and patriotic salute and our collective way of saying thank you for all you have given. So it's called The Man in the Shadows. He stands within the shadowed walls, why quiet purpose softly calls. He serves, he builds, he mends, and he leads the way, yet seeks no praise for deeds each day. A jack of all trades, yet master too. Each task he begins, he carries it through. With steady hands and a true spirit, there is honor in all that he dares to do, in all that he's touched, in all that he'll do. A movie star's light, yet humble in grace, a faithful friend to the horses he'll embrace. An avid water skier, swift and upright, a hunter rising with first light, a fisherman wrestling the river's might, a storyteller through his lens so true, he captures life in every view. A master mechanic, through and through, antique rides and Fords, that's his crew. The forever horseman and whisperer too, their bond strong, fearless, loyal, and true. He rides in his horse-drawn carriage, dashing with flair, holding the reins with strength to spare. He loves his horses wild and untamed, and softly whispers each by name. Their ears flick from the sound of his voice, trusting the hand of the rider's choice. A patriot through and through, he stands with open heart and flag in hand. A veteran's voice, a warrior wagon rides, through every battle, through every tide. He honors them through each trial they have faced, giving them a steadfast ride full of valor and grace. His motto rings, God, family, country, horses, these things. A life built on honor where deeds stand tall, a legacy of courage that outshines us all. His clothes hold dust, his belt is leather, his boots worn thin from miles together. Those calloused hands have done it all. He built his life from every fall. Proud of his roots, his heritage true, his family traced the dream they knew. Through sweat and perseverance, they gave their best and carved their mark above the rest. He stands within the shadowed walls, a humble hero admired by all, forever known as the Renaissance man, leaving a lasting imprint on all of his fans. Can I just ask everybody to stand up and give him a round of applause, the entire Costella family, for all they have done?
thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm humbled and truly, sincerely honored to accept this from the people that I love in the town that I love. And it's beyond any expectation I would ever have had for doing what I do. I do it because of love of country, love of my family, love of the people, and particularly the love of what our service people have done. Probably a lot of people aren't aware of the fact, but about 3 or 4 months ago, there's a young man that worked with us with the horses when he was a little kid. And he kind of grew up with us. His name is Jimmy Godovich. Jimmy worked on Theo Budnick's farm. His dad was the farm manager. If any of you know, the farm is out in Millbrook at Wheatley Farm. Jimmy put 20 years in the Marines and had to leave. He was going to try to go on through some health issues, and he's going to take over the Warrior Wagon project. We're going to assist him with traveling with the horses, and Jimmy will do some of the moving and so forth. But I'm overwhelmed by the love and the community spirit and the people that came out. I just don't feel as worthy of this as I should be. I appreciate it. And with that, I think I'll end my speech.
Frank, did you want to speak? Sure.
I think it'd be nice if we take 5 minutes to just have like a little bit of a recess and everybody can say hello and shake hands.
Yeah. Let them escape. Yeah.
Okay, so tonight, we also have another presentation that, I'm not sure who's given the presentation, I'm sorry. Hi, and I believe you're going to report on the community garden from this? Okay, good. Please, go ahead. Thank you. Just don't forget to push it on, and. There you go. Pull it toward, yeah, thank you.
Hi, everybody. This report provided to the town board is in recognition of its support and hopefully summarizes some of our milestones as we have developed into a true community asset, fulfilling our mission of growing food and community. And this is just a quick summary of the highlights of this last year. Pleasant Valley Community Gardens' third growing season was its most successful, donating 2,473 pounds of locally grown fresh organic produce to the Pleasant Valley Ecumenical Food Pantry. In 3 years, we've donated over 5,600 pounds now. And we always take Steve Gessner's advice, the director, about which vegetables are most valued by the clientele of the pantry, who has increasing numbers of families each year. As you know, we're an all-volunteer team, and we tend the garden in loosely organized shifts. We do soil testing, we do seed starting, planting, watering, thinning, weeding, labeling, harvesting, weighing, before we deliver the vegetables to the pantry each week. This year, we were able to design a new solar watering system for the garden that allows for soaker hoses to crisscross the beds and provide adequate water. With the approval of the town and through the hard work of the team, we expanded and fenced the garden space. So now we have 100 by 110 feet of space, allowing for more garden beds and thus more food for the pantry. It's also enabled us to start an educator, pollinator, and native plant garden so we can enhance the fields and enhance the ecology of the site with native plants and pollinators. It's also given us more space for a real wide variety of vegetables. We also increased our yield with vertical gardening, rotating beds, companion planting to deter pests, and succession planting to extend our growing season. But besides growing food, we have also continued to grow community through our education and outreach. The garden itself provides a hands-on educational opportunity for inexperienced and experienced gardeners to work and learn together. It's also a great way for Pleasant Valley newcomers to come and meet everyone in the community. We also hold a series of gardening workshops at the Pleasant Valley Library where we share eco-beneficial practices that's for anyone in Pleasant Valley. We also have open library meetings each first Thursday of the month. Everyone is welcome to come. And we also include how-to sessions like succession planting or seed starting so everyone can continue to learn. We also support and participate in the Pleasant Valley Library. We are now maintaining the seed library. And if you haven't had a chance, go to the library and you're able to take 3 packets of seeds every month. We secure seed donations as well as harvest and keep seeds from our own gardens for sharing. We also support and participate in community events such as Pleasant Valley Weekend, the Pollinator Day at Plan B, the Blessing of the Animals, and at these events we continue to educate the community and encourage them to join our group as well as support the pantry. We value and appreciate the businesses and individuals who help support the garden in many ways. Looking ahead, we hope to continually increase our membership, partnerships, and our capacity to enable others to grow food and community. We'd like to thank the Pleasant Valley Town Board for the opportunity to share this progress, and we look forward to your support for the seasons to come. And to that end, we would like to present you for the new town hall a photograph
Oh, that is amazing. That's wonderful.
our
Thank you
garden.
so much.
Thank you, that's
That's gonna
awesome.
look so nice. Oh, is that a swimming pool? Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
There it is.
Thank you so much. That's
Thank you.
wonderful.
So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the garden.
What you all do is nothing short of amazing. It just boggles my mind every time I go up there and see during the summer. I go up and just look at it. It's just amazing what you produce and what you get out of it and how well it's kept. It's really something. You all work very, very hard.
And it's a wonderful group of people, and I have to say, we work hard, but we have an enormous amount of fun doing it, don't we? Yeah, and I always like to just keep in mind, it was a grass field 3 years ago.
Yes.
And now
Yeah.
it is a garden, and so we're
Well, it
just
was somewhat grass.
somewhat grass.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Before we lose you guys, if you run out, again, thank you. But obviously, it takes people donating and being involved and whatnot. So what is the easiest way if somebody's watching or the word gets out there to be able to support you guys financially? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to go to PleasantValleyCommunityGardens.com, which is our website, and that'll have all the information about where to donate. You can always come to our meeting. It's the first Thursday of every month at the library at 6 o'clock, and you can find us and donate money there. And that would be the best way to do it, and especially since tomorrow's Giving Tuesday.
Support this great
Oh,
cause.
that's right. I forgot about that.
And then I've said it before at different things, but like the cool thing about being on the board is I've watched from the first meeting at the library where like I think you had to make a 501c or organization. You had nothing, and then it's just amazing in a short 3 growing seasons like what you guys have done. And I think from a town's perspective, I think this is a perfect example of how these partnerships where we don't have to run anything, but we can support you and enable and do whatever we can to make it successful and just let you guys go and do your own thing. So like anybody out there that has an idea of something that they really think would be beneficial for other people or the community, talk to these folks because you guys have hit it out of the park, and it's just it's insane to see the amount of stuff that you guys gotten in such a period of time. And also, if you can't volunteer every week or every other week, I still think it's important that if you're interested in growing your own food and not having to buy all your food, go up for a day and just hang out with these people. Just the little things like how to grow basil so it keeps growing, it doesn't flower. I learned that from you guys, from literally one time going there. Or what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to let tomato plants grow all these things because they all fall apart. So you learn a lot, even if you can't volunteer over the whole season, just going up and stopping by and it's a wealth of knowledge. So I appreciate you guys.
We're there Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings, roughly from 8 to 9, depending on the temperature, till roughly 10 to 12, depending on whether it's hot or cold. And no one has to be there any longer than they want to. They can just stop by and say hi. And we learn a lot from each other. So we're always excited to have new people join us.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yay!
I knew I'd be outnumbered tonight, so I had to be in the garden gang. So thank you guys.
PleasantValleyCommunityGardens.com. Thank you.
Can I pile on? Can I pile on? So I'm just in awe of you all. I really, it is so rare in today's day and age where people give so much, where they don't get anything out of it themselves, and it's 100% for others. I'm just, what you do is beautiful. It makes me proud to live in Pleasant Valley. It's you, between what you and the pantry do on a weekly basis for human beings, everybody should really take notice of this because it should give us hope in this town, in this county, in this state, in this country. I've seen it firsthand at the pantry. The pantry is feeding, I think, regularly 60 families on a weekly basis. I've seen it grow from a couple bags of food to now every single family that leaves there, they're leaving with like the most fresh, healthy food, and they wouldn't be eating it if it wasn't for you. Flat out, they would not be eating it. So it's 100% because of you, and the yield that you're sending there. I mean, it's a 40 by 40 area, right? That's full of fresh produce that was picked within the last couple days, hours, and they're leaving and they're feeding their family, right? It's amazing. So I can't thank you enough. Thank you. I'm in awe of you, really.
Well, I do want to say we get a lot out of it too. I mean, we just
Yeah.
have such a good time together, and I have made such good friends here in the Pleasant Valley Community Garden. So it's a really lovely place to be outside and in the garden. So come join us and see what all the fun that we're having.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
again.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like a motion to open the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if you all leave, you're not going to hurt our feelings if you walk up and walk
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Do yourselves a favor.
Anybody want to speak? Okay, not seeing any, I'll motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
New business discussion. Councilman Cookingham is going to have a discussion about the pole lights at Katie Field.
Okay, so Mary Beth got two estimates there that were given there to change the two utility poles out there by the new basketball court. One there isn't being used. It's in front of the one that's really crooked. So the estimates are to replace the actual utility pole, take the other twos out so we can get the lighting done. So then that way everything is lit the way it should be in the back. But this is just to take care of the utility poles that weren't done when the original project got started. That I got brought in at the end, but I just want to make sure this gets done for everybody. So
Does this,
this just has utility poles. This isn't putting the lights up. So
Okay,
that's
so
why I
we-
want to let you know.
we have to put the poles up? and
Correct.
then-
There's going to be just one, right, when you look at the beautiful basketball court now, the pictures that were up last week that were shown, you got one pole going to the left, the other one's going to the right, so those both will come down. There'll be a brand new one
Okay.
right there, and they'll rehook up the wires that are coming to those poles, and then there'll be another estimate coming for doing the lighting that we originally were going to just do. So this is just to do the utility poles.
Do we have a resolution to award this? No. Okay.
Do you want me to draft one for the next meeting?
Yes, please.
Sure.
So we can just I want to get this done.
So
today.
we're going with the lower one?
Yes.
And what's the source of the funds?
Where do,
Is it in the Katy Park budget?
I would,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
So then I'll, so-
Okay, on to new business discussion 12B, social media policy. Councilman Reifenberg.
So the employee handbook has a policy for employees and us on doing things on social media. What we don't have is we're kind of, as the town's evolved and become more in the 21st century here with technology, we have all these Facebook accounts now where we get information out. There's been issues over the years, though. I think there was something with Festival of Lights a few years ago. Basically, whoever's running the program or the event will go and they'll start a Facebook page and a group. All the residents will like it, and then it will go on. And then let's say the next year that person's not involved anymore. They own that page, and it ends up sitting out there in the universe, and then another page is created, and it's just all of these different pages. So, for example, we have a couple of Facebook pages that just come to mind. The Town of actual Pleasant Valley's Facebook page, Pleasant Valley Recreation, Pleasant Valley Weekend, Pleasant Valley Festival of Lights. I think there might be a Camp Sunny Days specific page. I have to go and look. There's not? Okay. There's other ones out there as well. So when you start looking into this, we actually found out that like there was 2 employees that were employed for just the summer for a very specific thing that still had full access to delete an entire town-ran Facebook page that like is very active and has thousands of people on it. And the town ourselves couldn't actually remove them from the Facebook page, so they couldn't delete it because of the way everything was set up. So the only way they could be removed is if they allowed the town and approved the town to remove them. So obviously that's an issue because they can just go in and delete the entire thing, and it kind of cripples the town. So I started looking into this, and I wrote up a draft Town of Pleasant Valley social media access and account management policy that I sent to the board a few weeks ago. Tonight's just to put it out there, see if anybody has some comments. Basically, all it does is, looking more into this, is Facebook has a Meta Business platform, which basically you make a business account for the town, and then basically under that Meta Business profile account, you have all of the pages underneath of it. And basically you have an administrator of that account, and they then can grant access to individuals for specific pages, and you can remove access without them approving it moving forward. So if somebody retires, or they leave the town, or they move on, you know, you don't have to have their approval, because obviously damage can be done if they wanted to. Not saying anybody would. But so we really need to rethink how this is done. So if you look through what I'm proposing, it kind of lays out a very set guidelines on how we would run everything. And let me just look at my notes of the other things. Also, a cool thing about that is, let's say you have the summer camp director, and it makes sense that they can post cool stuff over summer camp on the rec page. When you set up their access, you can actually set it up to expire on a specific date. So you don't even have to go back in and remember to remove them. Okay, August 1st is the last day of camp. So August 2nd, you put in that it deletes it, and the town automatically removes access. So we don't have like 100 people and people that aren't employed by the town having that access anymore. Town will always have ownership. Another thing that's proposed in here, so because this is where the gray area is by not having it all under one area, is there's obviously FOIL that we're subject to, which is the Freedom of Information. So, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, any town-ran Facebook groups, you can't like censor people. So if somebody puts a comment on one of our posts, we can't hide it, we can't delete it. It has to stay there, which obviously there's going to be that one person in the community who wants to write something that kids should probably not see on the Pleasant Valley rec page or whatever. So this also lays out that anybody posting anything, and I will say Mary Beth does an amazing job at this. We started this about a year ago, so she's been the guinea pig without knowing it. We just changed the setting for any post to, unless you're tagged in the post, you can't comment. And really it's not losing out on anything, but it kind of stops from us having to police Facebook. And I also created a form just for internal processes. So basically the supervisor would be the administrator at the top, and potentially the town clerk, and maybe another town board member, however the town board wants to work that all out. And then if I'm just going to use the summer camp director, wants to have access, they would fill out this form, get it signed off by their department head. It would be delivered to whoever we decide is that point person, and they would go in and decide if they get access, and they would document it, and then it would be kept, I don't know, in the clerk's office or whoever. But it kind of sets out the rules too. So they're signing off, okay, commenting will always be off. I'm only going to post things that are in line with the town, blah, blah, blah. So I just want you guys to really look this over. And if you can, I think the easiest thing is to maybe in the next week, send comments of what you'd like changed. and we can adjust it. I can send out a final copy before the next town board meeting, and maybe get a polished up thing with a resolution, and we can maybe get this passed at the 15th meeting. So.
I think
know
it's
said-
great. I think it's long overdue. It's not anybody's fault. This is just kind of like the reining in of this social media monster that's grown in the last 20 years of like how you actually administer it. The only suggestion, I think I sent comments of some suggestions, but the only one I'm questioning or suggesting is number 5.1. We might want to consider having a third, just in case you have a scenario, because our job here is to, to make rules for board members that might be in high school today, right? To prepare for something in the future. But you might want a situation where you have an odd number. So in case the supervisor and the designated town board member don't agree, you have a third voice to say that
Which
allow
number
that
are you
access.
looking at?
5A, 5.1.
Oh, 5.1, sorry.
Anytime we're making decisions, I think it's good to have an odd number.
Yeah, and I think it would just make sense, I mean, if the town clerks want to be
Town clerk, I
administrator.
would think, should be on.
Even if you're not involved in the day-to-day process of giving people out, whatever,
I think the
at
town clerk
least
should be on it.
you're kind of a steady
Yeah.
person within the town that's constantly here, so,
Add the town clerk.
and I have your other comments, Dan, and Councilman Deegan as well.
I was just curious, I was looking back, in January of 2023, the board entertained a social media policy that was a little different focus. It was something Brooke developed, relating to employees, and I just want to see if that integrates with this.
Yeah, I think that's more the employee handbook side of it, right? So I think that went into the employee handbook, but I did send this to Brooke as well. I didn't receive any comments from her, so if you can follow up potentially with her, because it is important that she probably signs off on this as well.
I think so, and just to make sure there's not any discrepancy or conflict between the two.
Yeah, I agree. So you're gonna do that? Yep. Okay, and then you guys will get me any comments by the end of the week? Okay, that's all I have.
Good job, Councilman Reifenberg.
You got it. You want me to do the next one too? All right, so we put out, all right, walk you through this. At one point, I gave an update on the new town hall about potentially using this equipment at the new town hall. The town board at that point directed me that they wanted to explore buying new equipment and having it professionally installed, which I kind of agree with because what we have now is kind of cumbersome and doesn't work very well, even though you've put a lot of energy into it. I appreciate you. So we hired a consultant. They created the plans for the new town hall, specifications, bid documents. We put that out to bid a few weeks ago. We asked for 2 numbers back from anybody who wanted a bid. One number was to equip the new meeting room with state-of-the-art equipment that's all wireless. There'll be 2 big, really, really big TVs on both corners of the room. We'll have at the podium a port, an HDMI port where people can plug right in. There'll also be kind of what you see us using now where you can plug a computer in and it'll go automatically to the TVs. It does things like there'll be a little device where whoever's running the meeting as a clerk, it's very simple. They can hit on and off, which powers the system on or off. They can make little adjustments of in the room volume to a point where it won't cause feedback. It takes the speakers and puts them in the ceiling. It integrates all the streaming. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It equalizes, is that the right word? So basically, if I'm talking really loud, it'll bring me down. If she's talking very low, it'll bring her up. Automatic gain control. So you don't have to turn up your computer to the highest setting to potentially hear us at home. It'll fix some of that. I'm just going to put this on the record because people like to come 7 months from now and accuse me of not reaching out to people. But we did put this in the bid, in the paper. We put it on Facebook. We sent it directly. And these are the companies I sent it directly to. Bruce Television, Hughes TV, Visor A Media, Eclipse TV, AV of New York, Duchess Tel Audio, Hudson Valley AV. So I sent it personally to 6 companies. If you ever want to see, they're in my email account. You can foil them. But I'm putting it out there because I don't want people coming a year from now saying this was rigged somehow. Y'all received a copy of the bid this morning, so thank you to the clerk for doing that. We only received 1 bid. So if you looked at that, this is the company we actually hired to be the consultants who came up with the plans. It's kind of nice that they're potentially the people we're going to hire because they know the building the most and exactly what we need. They're also local. I think they're only 30 minutes away. They're across the river. So this isn't like a company in Indiana who's going to come install the equipment and then run out of town and not be able to support us. We always knew it was going to be fairly expensive for this, but the board has a decision tonight. There is a resolution that has blanks in it if you want to do any of this. So your three options tonight: one, not do any of this and we can figure out something else. Two, you can do just the meeting room or just the courtroom at the new town hall, or both. Or your third option is you don't want to accept this bid the way it is, and you want to either have us change the scope of work or just put it out to bid and hope more people bid on it. Those are kind of your three options.
Do we think we would have gotten more bids if we had done lump sum?
I don't think so.
The way it was written was that we could choose to do either the meeting room or the meeting room and the courtroom. So I think we wouldn't do just the courtroom, right?
Yeah, the reason why we cut the courtroom out is because you guys never explicitly said that you wanted to do the courtroom, but the consultant designed the courtroom while we were there, and so we figured we'd put it out to bid to get a price back so we can make the decision if it was going to get done anyway. I will say, if you've ever gone to court here, which hopefully none of us have, they take a laptop and they put like a little device next to it, and it just picks up whoever's right there, and that's how they keep and record everything. What they're proposing here, if you go and look at the plans and specs that we put out to bid, is basically there'd be set microphones that never move. For example, think of the judge, the clerk, a couple other places, the witness stand. Like those are fixed positions, unlike this room in the new meeting, in the new town hall. And then there's a couple wireless microphones that are like this, that if they're having a trial or they need lawyers to speak, they can just put them on the tables where they'll be sitting. But everything gets recorded and put back into a digital file behind the scenes, and it keeps all of our records automatically and creates a digital file. So you'll actually have better technology with that. Also, it includes a TV on the wall, so if you're having a trial or exhibits, I guess, a lawyer can plug right into an HDMI port, put it whatever out, and it's designed so everybody in the courtroom, including the jury, can see that. The idea is that potentially down the line, this is going to be required anyway, and we just wanted a number, and with everything open, it's probably going to be cheaper now to do it, if we wanted to do it, than to have somebody come in later on and
Well-
try to do all this all later.
That, plus it's also gonna be harder, and right now you can get it done, you know.
Yeah, everything's
Just-
open. We've kind of been trying to hold off putting
Hold
all
off.
the ceiling tiles in and stuff in these two rooms. So long story short, they came in with the two numbers for the meeting room is $74,715, and for the courtrooms, $25,024. I will say, Dave Talbot, like always, he's been there every day. When I've been there working with them to make sure they got exactly what we needed. And he's, when we were doing this, he actually put a number of like, okay, I think it's going to be around 100,000 if you do the courtroom and the meeting room. And I find it ironic that it's pretty much within a couple dollars of what he said we're expecting after he looked at the parts list and everything. So I just need to know what the town board is thinking. And I'll put this out there too. I promised Mr. Veeder a nice budget presentation tonight. I put that off until the 15th because this is kind of a big change for me, depending on what you guys want to do. But realistically, I can, if you decide to do this, it will fall most likely within the budget we already have because we've been so good at keeping all the other costs in check. So it won't be extra funding to do this as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I say we just go with it.
I only have one question, I think. Does this system include something for hearing impaired?
Do you mind just going up to the microphone?
We left it such that they could add on an ADA hearing impaired system at a later date. Their outputs are going to be right there. It's just a matter of plugging it in.
Would it be easier to do it now?
Well, I mean, we can add it. It'd be an add-on.
It would not, it would be outside of this.
Yeah, oh, okay, outside of
This
the
did not
You
go
know,
out to
and-
bid with a loop system or anything like that.
See, the other problem is do you go loop system, which is a wire that is buried in the concrete, which we'd have to dig up and bury a wire, or you can do an infrared system, which works off of like your TV remote, infrared, or you can do a wireless system that's just a transmitter with a bunch of receivers. So there's several different packages. We didn't go that route because we weren't sure that you really wanted to go that route, because we don't have it here. You know,
Yeah,
it is a requirement, I think it is a code that you're supposed to have that with groups bigger than, used to be 25 or 35 people. So if the whole boardroom, like it was a few minutes ago, was full up, then you're required.
Yeah, and I think the thought process is to see what the board wanted to do, because I don't know if you guys realized how expensive all this equipment was, and have it designed to where it's easily added on, and get this up and running, and then you can add it on afterwards if you
Well,
like.
if it can be added on, that's nice, other than, having to dig into the concrete.
You're not
that's
gonna do-
happening.
Yeah, no,
we're not
that's
able
not
to
gonna
do that.
happen.
Yeah,
That's-
but I gotta tell you something, we gotta come up with 2026.
I agree.
Because this is absolutely insane here. People call me up, they text me during the meeting, I can't hear you. Okay, yeah,
This system is wireless, so what'll have to happen before and after each meeting is this piece will just be picked up, carried to the back room, and plugged into a charging system. So the next person that comes in and uses it, grabs it, they will be, I believe, didn't he say they were gonna EQ them all for each board member?
No, I think they were just gonna EQ them for a certain output.
Right.
Because the nice thing about wireless, the reason we went wireless is
Put that out there.
is that depending, we have some boards that have 7 people, some boards with 5. We have some boards that have an engineer and lawyer. So this allows us a lot of
A lot of flexibility.
flexibility, and it also gives
Right.
each person a microphone, which is sort of kind of the problem at some of these bigger board meetings is you can't hear people because they're sharing.
Right, and with zoning, you have to have all these extra stuff for zoning. I think we did, 11 units?
I don't remember the exact number,
think
but
it
it
was
was more
11.
than what we needed. But yeah,
yeah.
Do
Well,
you have an idea what that extra unit would cost?
Back in the day when I was doing that kind of
Right.
stuff, you can get them as cheap as $1,000.
So now it'd be
But
4 or
they're like
5,000.
transistor radios that have
Right.
an earpiece. Most hearing aids have Bluetooth
Correct.
compatibility. You know, loop systems are not a good idea.
I can get you.
I was just gonna
I
say, how
can
about
get
we
you an-
just say, go ahead, if we decide to go ahead with this, just see how much it would be just to add that.
If you go with Hudson Valley AV,
I can get you a
it's
number.
just a matter of just
Yeah.
saying, we
Right.
want to put a hearing impaired system in. You're technically, I believe it's supposed to be 10% of the total seating capacity. At least it was back in the 2000s when I was
Right.
doing this. I think it was 10%.
Okay, yeah, just,
And
So
if
I'm-
somebody
This-
walks in, and, I mean, if they got hearing aids, Gene just got hearing aids last week and they're Bluetooth compatible. You know, I'm sure other.
Play
people
some
are
music
wearing
quick
them
for you.
Bluetooth compatible, you can answer your phone with it, you can listen to music with it, you know. So I would say probably the issue's going to be is how many receivers you buy. Okay? How many people you want to accommodate for
Okay.
hearing assistance.
I
So
just
what
think
we'll,
this,
what we'll do is let's focus on
Yeah,
what we have in
let's-
front of
right.
us,
Right.
You guys need to tell me if you want this approved or not. And if you approve this, either direction, and if you don't approve it, I can get with them tomorrow and I can get you a price for whatever systems that have to do with that, and get you quotes over so we can add that if we'd like.
Listen, this system is so bad right now, and you did, you did us really well by getting
It's
what
just
you
a
did.
Band-Aid.
But I gotta tell you something. One day I was trying to listen to something. I had to stick my head down on the keyboard. Don't even go there, Jen. But I
was
came
gonna
up with, it was a disaster. But you cannot hear, so I know the frustration that people have at home, and they really, really want to have it better. I just think that we need to do this.
To the hearing impaired issue, just one more point. Most of the hearing aids that are out today are Bluetooth compatible. They may have a Bluetooth transmitter that we use, and we put an antenna out in the middle of the room, and it's done. You know?
Okay.
So,
I'm
that'd be
all
the
for
way
this.
I'd go. If I was designing this myself, I would try to use a Bluetooth piece, because, you have hearing aids?
Transcripting, automated transcripting features that are applicable nowadays?
I think that's.
I can,
Michael can address, or.
Pull it back in.
I want to focus everybody really quick.
Yeah.
We're getting, so I can look into all of that stuff with the TVs, the hearing aid stuff. I will look into all of that.
I have a question.
I need you guys to focus on this right now, and then I will get you all that information. That's a good idea as well, because we'll have the TVs anyway, so.
I'm all for this.
What do you think the odds are of, if this went out to rebid, that we would get more quotes?
Nope, it's,
None.
we've done it before.
The
We've
other-
done it with other things, it
Just
just
holds
doesn't
the
seem to
cart.
work.
So one of the arguments could be is that it was over a holiday area, right? Like we just had Thanksgiving, it was out to bid during them. The problem you're gonna have is by the time we get this out to bid again, you're just gonna be in a holiday period again. And what we're doing is we're just pushing it out. And this is the last thing that needs to be installed in the town hall for us to move over there. I mean, we can kind of move over there beforehand, but I don't think you're gonna, they're definitely not going to lower the-
Everybody was well aware that we were doing this,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
they
I don't
all
think it would
got,
be worth the
So
money.
the headline
Yeah.
is the $100,000, whether it's lump sum or not, still comes in within budget.
There was no, I will put this out that there,
Still within the project
well, there
budget.
was no budget for
Combined
this
for-
item.
Right,
What I'm saying is because
Lump
the
sum.
project's been going so well,
yeah.
we have money in the budget to where we can do this without.
This isn't like discretionary add-on spending, it's part of the total
Correct.
project.
So is anybody against any of these?
No,
Okay,
just find out.
so there's a
about it.
resolution later. We're gonna fill in the blanks and then we'll vote on it. And then if it passes, I will get you all the information this week. Sound
Quick,
good?
move to the next topic.
Next.
okay,
okay.
thank you.
All right, the next
Okay.
thing.
Old business discussion, new town hall update, Councilman Reifenberg.
Okay. Jeez, I should have brought more tea. All right, so just a couple things. The change order tonight is what we talked about and we kind of voted on last meeting. It's the change order for the second floor. It's for the, I don't even know what it's called. This is the skim coat they put on the entire second floor. It's just under $7,000. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's under items of special consideration.
Ardex floor coating.
Yeah, Ardex floor coating, that's it.
I'm not a genius, I read that.
I promise I will have a breakdown now that I have the approval of this tonight. I will have a breakdown for you budget-wise of where we stand at the next meeting, which is the end of the year, so that's kind of nice. I will say, I'm going to add this to the next meeting to discuss, and I'll send you guys information beforehand. There is an account that was set up in a reserve probably in the 90s for capital improvements. The town right now is using money from, is it called bands? Bands? A band. We don't have any bonds right now. We're using that and the funding from, I think we put 2 million total from fund balance into the project to bond less money. But we have a band right now to cover the building. And then at some point, I think Melanie said in May, is when we go out to pay off the band and transfer that into a bond. The band. And hopefully interest rates keep going in the direction they're going and they go down a little bit even more. and we get a good deal. But there's a reserve account with, I think, it's around 1.3. It's a capital reserve account. It does require a referendum. I'm just putting it out there because she mentioned it. When people are looking at these fund balance numbers and stuff, it's including all those reserve funds as well. So it might be something you want to think about. If you want to take $700,000 out of that because it's been sitting there for 2 decades, and take, I think every $1 million we don't bond is some outrageous amount of money that the town saves over the course of the years. So I will bring you the information at the next meeting, but just put that in the back of your mind. I'm working with different office furniture companies this week to figure out any of the missing stuff that we need. I will have all of that stuff here in the next month. We've turned the heat on the second floor, all the electric heat. None of the actual like air handlers and stuff have been turned on because of dust, but we needed to get the temperature up on the second floor to lay the second floor flooring is going in now, and it needed to be at 55 degrees or higher, so that's running. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but that's what I have for you tonight. Do you have any questions? No? That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on to resolutions. I'd like a motion for resolution 1200, if I can find it. Yeah, 1200 of 2025, authorizing the renewal of auto salvage yard license for 2026 for 1913 Route 44, which is Baroni Recycling Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
I just want to, there was an issue we were dealing with them with our adjoining property now. I just want the town board to know that that's been dealt with. We're still working through that, so there's no open issues with us and them right now, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Okay. Like a motion for Resolution 1201 of 2025, amending Resolution 1125 of 2025, accepting recreation fee for 90 South Avenue LLC / Michael R. Schroeder Sr.
So moved.
Second.
Can somebody
What?
explain this?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had to
I-
have the name changed because of the name was not on it correctly the first time. So it's really only changing the name.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? And I'd like a motion for Resolution 1202
Hold
of
on.
2000.
Hold up.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Nay.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Thank you. Okay. Resolution 1202 of 2025, authorizing payment of abstract number 12P of 2025.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? And I need a motion for 1203 of 2025, appointment of account clerk part-time.
So moved.
Does anybody have any questions for me? Did you
Just a
read it
couple.
all? Okay.
This is, I mean, it's tough, right? You're trying to find someone. I'm seeing a little bit of deja vu from the past one, including even like the background.
Well,
Right, like-
we're hoping to put him into this position and watch him grow with it to be able to be put into another position.
Okay. Yeah,
He's got a very good education, but he just graduated, so we're just,
I mean, if it's tough to fill
I'm
candidates, it
taking
is
a
what it
little-
is. But sometimes it feels like it's just a leap, you know, a job they start and then until they get another offer and then they're gone, right? Like, isn't that what happened last time?
well, he works with his family, so that's a good thing,
Oh, got it.
yeah. Okay, there was a motion in a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
I make a
Okay.
motion to allow
Yes.
Resolution 1204 onto the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Okay, I need a motion for, oh, excuse me, we have to accept it too, right?
we need to fill in the blanks.
for,
I just want to ask Emily on this
Yeah,
one.
what
Is this first blank for, is that courtroom and meeting room?
Correct, meeting room and courtroom, yep.
Okay, so the first blank is meeting room and courtroom.
And I did the math for you, it's 99,739. Yep,
Mary Beth, did you get that? It's for the meeting room and courtroom? Total of 99,739.
$200, not bad.
Okay, I'd like a motion for 1204, 2025, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute contract with Hudson Valley Auto Visual Incorporated for auto visual equipment at the new town hall.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Nays?
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to allow resolution
1205,
1205 onto the agenda.
sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? And I need a motion to accept Resolution 1205 of 2025, resolution approving change order for general contractor for the new town hall project.
So moved.
Second.
Hold on.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention to you guys, and I think it's important that you understand. So back maybe a month and a half ago, we were talking about how we were waiving all manufacturer warranties, everything like that. Then I came back the last meeting and discussed kind of this. I just want to point out, if you go to the third page, it says BCG in the upper left-hand corner. And I want to make sure I point out the warranty. So by us doing this change order, they're going to prep the floor 100%. They're going to use that feather finish, and then we're going to do a pre-install verification where we're going to agree with the contractor, with our construction manager. They're both going to have to agree that the work was done to specification before they actually put the floor down. And then they will not, what we're signing off on is that they will not provide a one-year contract or warranty, and they won't accept any responsibilities related to any issues from it. So that's what we're signing off by doing this, which is kind of what I said before.
Right.
I just want to make sure
Yeah.
you guys understand what you're voting for.
We spoke at length about that with
With the warranty.
professional advice as well.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Okay. I'd like a motion to open the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? If anybody would like to speak? This is any business. 3 minutes.
I'd like to address the traffic issue on Quaker Lane between 44 and North Avenue. I live on Stream Lane, and I sometimes have to sit at the end of Stream Lane for 5 to 7 minutes because of the amount of traffic that's cutting both ways. That road at one point years ago was one way. I hope we could do that again.
Well, it was 2 ways.
It
Then it was one way.
Many years ago.
Then it went to 1 way, and then
Right.
it went back to 2.
Went back, right.
What is the speed limit now? Because I don't
Well,
even
the speed
remember.
limit, I think it's 30.
Is it, and the speed have anything to do with
Oh,
it?
God, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God,
what I
yeah.
thought.
The little hill that you go over the top of?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's people in the other lane. You know, and these guys are doing 30, 35 miles an hour. They're trying to beat the light at North Avenue. And if we
Right.
stopped, somehow they can't make a left turn or a right turn there. The same thing up on 44 end. You can only make a right turn. It's terrible. It is so bad. I wish we had a committee that worked on highway stuff. I mean, traffic stuff.
We'll have one, and you'll be the head.
No.
Perfect.
But they have those road counter, you know, the counters, the little rubber things. I wish we could have somebody count the cars. There's gotta be 8,000, 10,000 cars on that road every day.
Well, that's actually not something that's unfeasible. I might be able to do that.
Well, on some of them, but some of them are not our roads. So some of
No,
them are
no,
the
no, for
state,
this
some are
road.
the
Just
county.
talking-
That road's ours.
That's ours.
But the roads that
yeah,
connect to it are not ours. One's a county, one's a state.
Right.
So we would be going in 3 different directions. So
Yeah.
it's so hard because one, it's
But
connected
they
by
might
state.
still be able to
us,
do
Point
it
is,
there.
the
county.
point is, it was a horse path
Right.
forever, and there's not enough room for even 2 fire trucks to go down the road, you know, and we still see quarry trucks, the 10-wheelers that are going on that road, you know, and there's signs that say, you know, it's a, what,
Right.
$6,000 limit or something.
There's
you
not,
know?
they're not supposed to be on there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
Is the sign still up there, that there's a weight limit?
yes, it's right on the corner.
That's what I was,
That's about what I was going to say. There are trucks that cut through on Quaker Hill that are not supposed to be there. And the sign is right there at the end of Stream Lane. Not before you get to Stream Lane, but it's right there as you pass by. It gives you enough time to turn. And the cars that turn down after they get past the bridge, they turn down Stream Lane and they are going to go up over that hill fast as they possibly can.
Last winter, I
To
had a
beat the
state
light.
trooper almost take me out
Thanks.
on that corner. The state trooper was responding to an incident. And he took that corner probably at 50 and ass end slid almost into the side of me. You know, now granted, I understand he's got to go someplace, but if there's 15 cars sitting on the other side of the hill, there's going to be an accident, you know.
Okay,
But
thank
most
you.
of the people travel way too fast on that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Arun Fricker, 117 Valley View. I did have 2 points. One is that it is tough. Again, I'm going to restate, I think from a while back, that it's hard for public to comment on agenda only items in the beginning if we don't really know what those items are going to be about. So my second point on the social media policy, I have no problems with it, but I do think as a new resident, I was going to the town website to try to find information about events and other things happening in the town, and there was no connection with actual pages or Facebook posts about what those events are. So I understand where you're looking and revisiting what the whole Facebook page looks like and admin privileges, but I also think the town website is a great open box opportunity to take a look again and see how that can be used to do a lot of what you're looking to do in the Facebook page, because I think it has a lot of those opportunities and can house it all under a very official place, like PV Weekend, which is a very big event, and there's no information on the town website at all, right? So that was something that I was uncertain of. So anyways, now that relates to my first comment, which is that I couldn't comment on it because I didn't know anything about it. So I don't know how to address that, but just wanted to put those 2 things out there. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was on. Yeah.
Harry Peter, Salt Point Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. Quaker Lane. Quaker Lane has been going both ways, some ways, sideways, front ways. I actually followed a tractor trailer going over Quaker Lane. He got to the end, he was going towards North Avenue. He got to the end and he had no idea what to do. I think you need a bigger no truck sign because, and honestly, a lot of us drive pickup trucks. I know it says 3 ton, but you gotta sit there and say, how much do I weigh? You know, it's a problem and everything. That road isn't made for two lanes at all, so. I will bring up my normal And I know we've done, they do highway surveys and so forth, but the speeds on our highways are not good, particularly North Avenue and South Point Turnpike, because they are the roads that lead to the Conic Parkway. Over the years, they've closed a lot of the intersections because they're dangerous. That has basically put all the traffic on any of those that were closed, Hibernia Road, all of them, they go up to Hackett's up in that area and come down to Conic Parkway. Sometimes I sit there for 10 minutes just to get out of my driveway. When I first moved there, I didn't even look north. So, the speeds are ridiculous. And the state's policy is worse. I think we should address the policy of the state through the representative of New York State in our area. I mean, they're allowing us, they're actually allowing you to speed with that policy. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'd like a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting.
So moved?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Town board comments?
Yeah, just a couple. So North Avenue speed limit, this kind of fell off my plate as I was working on a whole bunch of other stuff, but when we did the new entryway into Bower Park, I was looking back through the history of that, because it doesn't make sense with, you have all these apartments and all these people pulling out, even the speed limit, you know, it changes before you even get there, and you're accelerating with most of the people and population right there. So the town board, I don't know, probably 6 years ago would be my guess, actually wrote to the state and the county to look at lowering the speed limit, and they came back and denied it, like they seem to deny everything when it comes to changing the speed limit. But I think there was when I looked at it at the time, you had to wait 5 years or something to ask again and for them to do it. So I'll work on that. It's not going to be like next week, but I'll work on maybe putting together with Emily some formal request for at least North Avenue. And then Quaker Lane, what it seems like is it's a town road, but it seems like the state, the roads that it connects to, you have to get permission from them, and none of them seem to be very helpful. So we can try. I don't know how an 18-wheeler makes the turn off of Quaker onto North Avenue, because I can barely get my wife's SUV to make the turn without going up on the sidewalk. So I like the no truck idea. And then for the agenda with the comments, the public comments, I've been coming to meetings for probably 7 years or so, and I've seen it done every single possible combination you can think of. There's just, so this is what I would say, is if anybody has a suggestion of how to make it better that you feel, because you obviously have a different standpoint from us sitting up here, because I understand what's on the agenda. If there's an idea of how we can make it so you're able to participate better, I would say please think about it, send an email, call somebody, because I would be the first one to put in motion whatever it is to make that change. I forget when the agenda ended up being like this. I think it was Supervisor Delvecchio when he came in, but well, it's not up to me, so she has to approve you going up and talking. So-
It would just be the quick suggestion is at the very beginning of the meeting to do a brief, hey, this is we're going to be discussing, and doing a quick one-sentence intro of what that agenda item is. right? And then that gives all of us an opportunity to understand what's coming up and give a answer. Because all I need is that one sentence from Councilman Reifenberg to introduce the topic.
Thank you. So I guess maybe even just having, instead of going through and saying a sentence, would it be just helpful instead of social media policy, making that a longer thing?
Yeah, I think it'd be better that way than us doing
Yeah.
something at the meeting.
So we
I
could
think
start
ahead
with
of time.
that and then see how that goes. I think also like, I think the idea when this was changed that way, the way it is now, is that the agenda comes out on Friday, and I know it's not set and things change between Friday and Monday, but the majority of the agenda is out on Friday, and I think the intent is between Friday and Monday night, if a resident looked through and they said, hey, you know, I kind of understand this stuff, but I don't understand like social media policy, what does that mean? Is that either prior to the meeting at some point, you would either have a conversation with somebody or whatnot. That was the intent, I think, with the previous supervisor. But again, I'll be in full support of changing whatever it is to make it better. I'll just
It's
say that.
probably changed about 4 times in the 6 years I've been
I was
around.
gonna say, it seems like it changes
It's,
every
we
2
tried
years.
to fit
And there's always
everybody and
somebody who
everything in, and
Complains about it.
yeah, it just doesn't seem to fit one way or the other. I think putting maybe a little bit of an explanation on there, but anything more than that, I'd like to leave off of there, because sometimes people read into things and make their own opinion of what's going on by giving them a little bit more information. So, but we can discuss that and look into it.
I
Thank you.
also think something that we've been trying to do a little bit more of is, I'm trying to think of an example, like the social media policy, right? Is like, I easily could have put that on the agenda tonight with a resolution to pass that tonight. I think what we're trying to get more in the practice of is that's now a discussion item. You might have not known anything about it tonight, but now we've discussed it in public, and you're gonna have an opportunity at the next meeting, if it's on as a resolution, to be able to stand up there and say, hey, this is a horrible idea, you should not be passing that, or I looked
Right.
at it and I think you should make this change before passing it. So I think procedurally as well, we're trying to move towards doing that, because I get how aggravating it is, like the resolution tonight to do the change order. I mean, we're doing a very fast-paced project and some things like that have to happen, but I've been trying to take the suggestion of Mr. Veeder and do better at having a discussion item if we have the time available to then follow it up with a resolution at the next one, so.
Yeah, and I like that, because I'll tell you what, really our workshop meetings are really supposed to be for us to work. And then you get to listen to what we're trying to do and make better or put into place. And honestly, I'm not really sure that the comment portion at a workshop meeting is a good idea to begin with, because that's what you're here for, is to listen to what we're supposed to be doing to try to move forward with that particular item.
Well, I think the
So-
problem is that the town got away from a
Yes.
strict workshop and
Yes.
a meeting. Like, that worked back in the day when the town had those, but because we have resolutions and other stuff, is like, you can't have it that way. It's the way it's
It's
set
not
up now, so.
It's not always terrible. I mean, in fairness, whoever changed that, it was a workshop meeting where people would come and get annoyed because nothing got done. And then they'd have to wait 2 weeks to have some, so like, there was some flexibility in trying to do that. Just a couple of comments. The one thing I've noticed, I don't know if this is possible, I've been confused about local laws. People in the public, they see local law N, that doesn't mean anything to them. I think that's an area where if we could give like a one sentence to the level that it's legal, right? Because with a law, you want to make sure you're careful. But like just the law, that gets a little confusing. I think you tried to do that on one of them and it really helped. You added something in the comment and it helped.
Yeah, but the local law, I don't put just N, I put the entire title
Yeah,
of.
right.
Yeah, I know, but I've gotten
along
feedback
with
from
it.
people that they don't know what it's about. So it's the same
Well,
Well,
issue.
that's the other thing,
But-
that's what the workshop meetings are for, is for us to talk about a little bit about whatever the new law might be, so that at the next meeting, we can actually do something.
Yeah, no, it's
Also, I just want to add too is, we are not perfect. That is
No.
far from sure. But there is like the law thing, right? Like, there is some ownership that, you know, when I was not on the board if I saw a law that said local law N of 2024, dog law, if I went on the agenda or the packet for that, I would see the entire proposed law. And there's kind of like this
Exactly.
fine line of like, okay, there needs to be some ownership also on the resident. If you want to know about the
Do your
local
due
law,
diligence.
you got to take 5 minutes and read through the local law. I can't spoon feed you every little piece of information because you're not going to get it. So there is a balancing act here of there needs to be some responsibility on the other end as well of taking ownership of you have to read this stuff if it's put out there. But we have to do a good job of providing that information that's thorough with enough time for them to be able to do that. And sometimes we fail at that, so we have to fix that.
When you and Emily, sorry, when you and Emily are working on the speed limits and that, maybe we can work on the actual traffic lights, so when we try to call, then that way, when they're not going together, how they get messed up here on 44, there's a quicker way to get a response, because I know, going back to Vecchio, and every supervisor calls and calls to try to get them just to put them on, so that way they work correctly. And then I know people have asked about a possible light at West Road and Salt Point Turnpike, because again, you're talking county and state, two different, roadways there. And I know Mr. Veter stating, tractor trailer, that half the problem there is the GPSs that half of these people are using, because you see how many people, I drive to Conic every day, and the amount of trucks and trailers I pass anymore compared to 20 years ago is also sad, so, but.
The, I think what we need to do with the state is my stepfather retired, but he worked for the traffic division for the state, and he was actually one of the people that transferred over the sensors here. The state has gone to, you'll see them up on the pole in a corner. They're these little white, like bell-looking things, and they're cameras that are supposed to pick up the cars, but the branches and stuff you'll see are around them, and it throws everything off and the timing off. So, yeah, the state needs to fix something because the technology they have now is not working. So,
Correct.
I will work with Emily to address that.
I just want to backtrack a little bit on the website. We're actually quite spoiled, where we have a wonderful website now and a wonderful town clerk's office that does get the agenda out. There are many towns that do not advertise their agenda at all. At all. I watch a lot of, I have a lot of friends who are also board members and town clerks and town supervisors. We have gotten into a habit, and this is when I first started working here, where we have gotten the agendas up Thursdays and Fridays, and Mary Beth's office is wonderful about getting it up on Friday. Like the other board member said, it does fall at some point on the resident where you have a responsibility to also look, to read the agenda and all of that. But I believe we are fairly lucky where we have a wonderful group of people here that try very hard to get every bit of information that is available to the town out on social media and the website. Like, for instance, I just happened to go back and look. Pleasant Valley Weekend was up on our website, and I have the email, and I actually have the screenshot of it. It was on the calendar. It was on it was on our Facebook page. It was on the website, so it was there. We do our best, and like I said, we are very spoiled, where we have been blessed, where we have the access to do these new things with the website and social media, but it is out there. And I'm going to suggest that everybody out there watching, just go look at some other towns surrounding us. Agendas are not posted. Minutes are not posted. Meetings are posted just a couple hours before. They're not televised. So I understand that people will always have something to say, but we're doing a really good job. And I commend the people who take the time to put it out there and get the items out for people. But it also falls on the resident to do some work. Again, do some homework and look at some surrounding towns. You're going to see we're actually above the rest. So I implore you to look at some of the surrounding towns. Agendas are not posted, minutes are not posted, meetings are not posted, meetings are not even televised. Take a look and come back to me next meeting and tell me what you find. Because I assure you, we're pretty above the rest of the other towns.
Okay, I want to end on a nice note with something about the Festival of Lights this weekend. Every year, we have a parade of the Festival of Lights, and this year is no different. It's Saturday night. Lineup is 5:45, and they're to take off at 6:45. And we have enough help that we will be taking off at 6:45, so don't be late. We have probably 440-something signed up already, and that doesn't include a lot of the people that just don't remember to sign up or whatever. So we're really looking forward to it. Out front here after the parade, we have hot chocolate free for everybody. We have a booth for kids to get these special holiday water bottles with candy in them. We have candy canes, we have cookies, we have goodie bags. It's really nice for the kids, and they get to be with Mr. and Mrs. Santa, and they get treats from them, and they get deer food, and so it's really nice. So please come out and join us on Saturday. Like I said, lineup is at 5:45. They're going to be coming from in front of Village Park Apartments on North Avenue to Quaker, to the Route 44, and then they'll come down Route 44 past the town hall here.
And the road will be shut off at 6.
What is that?
They're shutting the road down at 6.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. There, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to go into executive session, but we are not making any decisions on anything, so just to let you know that in case you want to wait somewhere. At this time, I would like a motion to go into executive session for 101.5F personnel and attorney-client privilege.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
happy kumbaya.
Okay, I'd like a motion at 9:30 to come out of executive session.
With no action, so moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.